TNA. What are your thoughts on the state of TNA right now? They got nothing going for. I mean, we talked about this a couple months ago. We were talking about this on Twitter for a couple months ago. How the product on TV is solid. Like they have a really good TV product, but the business itself just has no buzz. Like, what are your thoughts on that?
They need to repackage. And like you said, we talked about this. I'm a huge fan of TNA, but for whatever reason, people are not caring about TNA. The business aspect of it, it's like they take a step forward, two steps back.
Yep.
Losing Rude and Storm. Oh my Lord! I mean, these guys, arguably the face of the company, and just their business aspect. They just brought on the Smashing Pumpkins guy. I don't know.
Yeah, Billy Corgan. Yeah.
Yeah, they need to. I believe they need to repackage. They need to do away with the TNA name. Dixie needs to stay in the back. Somehow they need to repackage. You know how they do with wrestlers who get old and tired and people don't want to see them anymore?
Mm-hmm.
They send them away. They injure them off.
Yeah.
He's in the hospital. He's got a broken leg or something, And come back in a couple of months. Give it a quarter. And come back, repackage, brand new name. We got to get away from the TNA name.
Yeah.
It's already soiled. That's what needs to happen. The colors, the logo, the name, everything needs to be repackaged into either a heel character or a face character, like in wrestling. And I think that's what TNA needs to do. The business aspect of it, I don't know. We need more wrestling-minded individuals at TNA. Dixie Carter plays a great character on TV. Business aspects, and I don't understand this because she has a business degree. I just don't understand if it's her or the people she has in charge of promoting in the office or what. We know the company has money. That's without question. Now, getting that money into the proper hands is the problem. Mm-hmm. I think promotion is the big thing for TNA.
Oh, self-awareness, absolutely. Yeah. I feel like another part of like you said, the hiatus thing and just repackaging the company as a whole is exactly what they need. But I feel like they had that opportunity earlier this year when they took a couple months off. They were going back to Destination America. That's where they were debuting. And it was at that debut show in New York City. It was a great show. I thought there was a lot of great things ahead for TNA, but it's like exactly like you said, one step forward, two steps back. They just kind of go back to their same old tired formula, and the product is good. It's just, I don't know. Like you said, I don't know what they need because they tried repackaging, and it just Destination America's not the ratings. I don't think are relevant at all. It's on a network that hardly anyone gets.
Right. You said the ratings aren't relevant. I mean. And I guess the bigger picture is everyone equates TNA to WWE. Everybody wants wrestling to be that WWE, and it's just not happening. And when TNA tried to do that, it tried to be WWE. It tried to take the stars from WWE. It brought in the old guys. It just left a sour taste in everybody's mouth.
Yeah.
So when they did their first repackaging, coming to Destination America, I don't think it was enough. They need to completely lose the name TNA. Losing their wrestlers isn't helping. Not re-signing the guys isn't helping because having the money issues. I'll put those in quotations because I don't think they have money issues. But all that getting out, that's a negative for TNA. So all in all, I really think it's just going away for longer than a couple of months, really getting solid TV airtime, whether it's Destination America or somewhere else. I like the whole block on Destination America, even though recently ROH cut back a little bit.
Yeah.
Yep. Destination's cut back on ROH. I like it still. I don't know. I really don't know what TNA's issue is. They have all the opportunity to succeed, and they're not.
I think the most unfortunate thing, too, about TNA is that their roster is great. They have an awesome wrestling roster. But like you said, I think the last couple of months where they've had so many departures of guys like Austin Aries, Bobby Roode, James Storm, all these guys.
Yeah.
It's not helping them all, and it's not like it's former WWE guys. A lot of these guys are, TNA originals or have been there for a very long time. But I think, too, when AJ Styles left, they started to have that identity crisis. Like, who do we build this brand around? Do you feel like there's anyone on the current roster in TNA they can kind of make, I hate using the term face of the company because it's not technically true, but do you think there's anyone in that company they can kind of build it around, other than maybe Ethan Carter III, who was awesome in his role?
That's exactly who I was going for.
Yeah.
EC3.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even put Kurt Angle in that category.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even though he's a huge talent for them and one of the most paid wrestlers in the industry. EC3, Eric Young, those right off the top of my head would be the faces of the company. Certainly EC3. I'm big on, even though he's not, we know who he is, he's fresh. And he still has a long way to go, in my opinion. And that's who I would build a company around.
I think they've done a great job of that, too. I mean, TNA has its flaws with their booking of some of their wrestlers, but EC3, from the time he debuted, and you were at that Bound for Glory, right, where he debuted back in 2013?
I was there.
Yeah, exactly. In the last year and a half, almost 2 years at this point, they've built this guy up to be undefeated. Like, that's unheard of in today's wrestling, where someone goes undefeated, consistently, not like a 21-year streak where Undertaker wrestles once a year, but whereas, just an undefeated streak like Goldberg-like, but it's legitimate, and he goes undefeated for 2 years, beating credible competition. It's something that we never seen before, and I think that's kind of what makes EC3 special, because it's something new. Kind of going back to what you were saying before, it's something that you don't see in WWE or any other wrestling company. And I think that's what TNA's issue is right now. Like you said, kind of distancing themselves from the TNA name, but primarily making themselves an alternative to WWE. I think people are just kind of bored with WWE in general. The general fan, whatever, the casual fan, but they want something new, and I think TNA needs to be that alternative. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. And when they realize that they need to be the alternative, something completely different than WWE, I think that's what's going to bring more viewers and more buzz. That's the key word, buzz. People need to be talking about TNA, much like they're talking like GFW or Lucha Underground. No one's talking about TNA. And that's the problem TNA has. When you hear the name TNA, it leaves a bad taste in your mouth. That's where we go back to the whole packaging and things like that. Nobody wants to taste TNA. Bring us something else. Even if TNA has the best roster in professional wrestling,
exactly.
We'll never know, because that TNA word, we can't get past that wall.
Exactly. It sucks too, because even though the TV product, as I mentioned earlier, could be as strong as ever, it's the best it's been in years. But because it's TNA, people will just, it'll bring back memories of when it was shit, when during the Hogan era and the Bischoff era, it just has that bad stench to it. You know what I mean?
And look, they have the Wolves, one of the greatest tag teams in professional wrestling now.
Yep.
It's a great roster. We said it. It's a great roster they have over there, but it's still TNA.
Yep.
No matter what you say, it's still TNA.
Exactly. That's why they just got to get rid of the name completely, and hopefully repackage, and hopefully that's something they take into consideration, especially after they might get kicked off Destination America by next month. I don't know how true those rumors are, but I guess we'll find out in the next month or so.